ॐ दक्षिणस्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वेदान्तडिण्डिमास्तत्त्वम् एकम् उद्घोषयन्ति यत् आस्तां पुरस्तात् तत्तेजः दक्षिणामूर्तिसन्निधम्। So now, after doing a lot of discussion on Atma Anatma Viveka, Brahma Swarupam, Jiva Swarupam, and knowing that this whole universe is nothing but Brahman, and Brahman is the very Karanam of this entire universe, like the gold is the Karanam for all the ornaments, and the names and forms, the various objects in the universe are nothing but Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam. That means whatever is there which is seen as a particular name and form is nothing but a word given to a particular form for the sake of transaction. For example, bangle name and the circular form of bangle is only a name and form. It has no value. It has no additional value. It is only a word and a form on the Karanam that is nothing but gold. Similarly, Vedanta says Brahman Atma is the Karanam. In such a way, it is a Karanam that Brahman does not undergo any change to become the Karya Jagat. The Karyam Jagat does not happen out of a change in Brahman. Then what happens here? Brahman, remaining as it is, manifests in various forms, like gold remaining as it is, manifests in the form of various ornaments with various names. Similarly, Brahman also manifests in various names and forms as the very universe itself without undergoing any change. That's going to come later. But we have seen this. What kind of a Karanam is Brahman for this Jagat? It is a Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Vivarta. Vivarta Abhinna Nimitta Karanam of this entire universe. Okay, that is Vivarta means what? It does not undergo any change. Remaining as it is both the material and the intelligent cause of this entire universe. And therefore, the author already discussed that this Brahman itself manifests as the entire universe. Brahma yeva jiva rupena sthitam. Jivaha Brahma rupena sthitaha. it was told, Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat Idam. That was also talked about. So, whatever is there is nothing but this Brahman. This entire Jagat is nothing but Brahman. The only thing is, the names and forms which we see in the Jagat are an added thing. Vacharambanam, Vikaro, Namadheyam, only an added thing and nothing other than that. That was what was told. And this showed that it is Brahma Satyam. So Brahma Satyam was discussed in the previous two verses. Now, Jagat Mithya, Jagan Mithyatvam is going to be discussed in the next verse, which we saw in the previous section also. Yannadau yacha nastyante tanmadye bhatamapyasat ato mithya jagat sarvam iti Vedantadindimah. Proclamation of Vedanta, Vedantadindimah. What is that? Yat na adau. Okay? That which was not there before. Yat na adau. Yatcha nasti ante. Ante, after a certain time, when the name and form ends, the name and form no longer exists. That means that which is not there before it came into existence and that which is not going to be there after the name and form is gone, such a thing is called as mithya, because even though it appears as a reality in between. Let's take a few examples. Now, gold was there. Bangle as a name and form was not there before it was specifically made or created. Correct? And after some time, I'm fed up with that form called bangle. I want to change that bangle into a chain. So what happens? The name and form called as bangle is no more there. But the gold remains. Correct? So the bangle exists between its creation and its death or end. And it looks as if the bangle is real. I have a golden bangle. I have the gold, that's all. The bangle is not permanent. The bangle is anityam. Gold is permanent. The bangle has appeared at a certain point in time in gold. The name and form called as the bangle disappears at a certain point in time. Therefore, the thing called as bangle was not there before its creation, will not be there after that form is destroyed. But in the middle, okay, tan madhye, in the middle, though it is not there really, it appears as if it is real. Let us take any other example. This body, called by a particular name, and that name represents this particular form called this body. It was not there before this body was created. Correct? Before this body was born, this name and form was not there. Once at the time of death, this physical body is gone. This body no longer exists at the end of it. But from the period of its appearance, birth, till its point of disappearance, that is death, the body was very much there. Isn't it? Tanmadhye bhasate. It shines, it is present for vyavahara. Not only that, I take this body to be permanent, immortal. I never feel that this body is also going to go away one day. I forget that this body never existed before it was created, before it was born. And I never accept that this body is also going to die one day, though I see many bodies day in and day out, dying around me and disappearing. Nothing is remaining. Even then, I don't consider that. Why? Because in between these 2 points, this body is so true as though it is real. Not only that it looks real, but I, because of my avidya, even take myself to be that body. This is my avidya. So, what he says is, that which was not there before it came into existence, that which no longer exists after its disappearance, yet appears for a certain period of time between these 2 points and appears as though real. Even though it is existent, it is asat. Asat means what? It is anityam. It is vikari. It is not going to remain for a longer period of time. Okay? This body started in a different way. If I look at my photos when I was just 2 months old or 2 years old and today, what has happened? Jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. All the 6 Shadvikaras are there for this body. And then appearance and disappearance. Still, I think it is real. But Vedanta says no, it is not real because it appeared sometime and it's going to disappear at some time. So don't get identified with this body as though it is a permanent thing. It is not. Similarly, he says, Atho mithya jagat sarvam. Ato mithya. Mithya means what? Here mithya means not that it is not there. At the same time, not that it is really there. That is Maya. It is there, but really not there. It is very much available for experience, but in reality, it is not there. When I wake up to a higher reality, that is not there. This is called as mithya. Asat and mithya are used as paryaya padas. Mithya means that which solidly appears as if it is there. But if you inquire into its existence, you'll find that it is, really speaking, paramarthikataya, it is not existence. There is no nityatvam in that. That which is existing, satyam, should be there in all periods of time. But here, the Jagat is not there in all periods of time. It appeared millions of years ago. It is going to die after millions of years. It is going to just disappear. And there also, in between, in these millions of years, the whole universe is undergoing millions of changes. So much of vikara. So there is a point of beginning, janma. Then there is an end point, mrityu or vinashaha. Then there is a period of constant change, constant vikara. And there is anityatvam. That means it is not there all the time. Such a thing is only a vyavaharika satyam. That which is available for transactions for a small period, for a limited period of time. That is called as mithya. And what is this whole jagat? Ato mithya jagat sarvam. This whole world is mithya. There is an Upanishad called as Mandukya Upanishad. And in that, there is a chapter called Vaithatya Prakarana, in which Gaudapada, Acharya, proves that Jagat is mithya, it is asat. How? He gives the example of a dream. He takes the example of a dream to prove that whatever we are dreaming in the dream, the same dreaming in the wakeful state is this Jagat. This Jagat is also a dream which the Jiva is dreaming in the wakeful state, in jagarita avastha, jagrata avastha. It is experiencing it. Therefore, he says, Gaudapada Acharya says that this whole world is mithya, like a dream. He compares the Jagat with a dream. What happens in a dream? It begins at a period in time. I am also there in that dream. Various other people whom I know also are there in that dream. People who have already gone out of my life also are there in my dream. People whom I have never seen in my life also are there in my dream. I transact with all of them. All kinds of vyavaharas happen there as though it is real. I experience all the emotions in the dream as if it is really happening. But what happens when I get up? I realized that whatever I experienced was anityam, vikari, and really did not exist. Then is the dream really false? At the time of dreaming, it is real. But when you look at it from the point of view of paramarthika satyam or absolute truth, the dream is not really there. It is as though there. Therefore, this whole universe also is like a dream. In the waking state, every jiva is experiencing a part of this universe as a field of its transaction, as though the jiva is dreaming. Therefore, he says here, Ato mithya jagat sarvam iti Vedantadindimah. Many examples are given for mithya. Many examples are there. What are those examples? There are waves in the ocean. Waves in the ocean. Are the waves a satyam? Are the waves really there? They are a mere appearance on the ocean. Correct? You look at a mirage. There is a mirage which is appearing. Is the mirage a reality? It looks as if it is there, really as though there is water. Animals literally take it for reality and run and run and run after that water. Imagined water, an appearance called as water. And they die, they fall dead in deserts, running after the mithya jagat. That is what is our fate. We run after the mithya jagat and fall dead. Running after things which are really not there, which are only in the form of an experience. And so he says that the whole universe is nothing but a bhranti. It's just that, I take this world as a reality out of my bhranti, out of my moha, out of my confusion. That's it. And when I wake up to the highest reality of Paramarthika Satyam, and when I abide or understand and start seeing that there is something else which is Nityam, Nirvikari, which is Ajaha, Nityaha, Shashvataha, Puranaha, Najayate, Namriyate. That is the ultimate reality then. With reference to that, all my other experiences are mithya. Jagrat prapancha is mithya. Swapna prapancha is still more mithya than Jagrat prapancha. That's why the Jagrat prapancha is called as Vyavaharika Satyam. The Swapna Jagat is called as the something else. It is called as some other Satyam. Okay. It is just something where I imagine. It is not even a Vyavaharika Satyam at all. Okay. Therefore, this Jagat which I see is nothing but Vyavaharika Satyam or Mithya. Then he says in the next one, then what is Brahman? Opposite to that, what is Brahman? He says in the 39th verse. Yadastyadau yadastyante yanmadye bhati tatsvayam brahmaivaikam satyam iti vedantadindimaha. Yad asti adau, yad asti ante, yan madhye bhati tat swayam, brahmaiva ekam idam satyam. Brahmaiva ekam idam satyam iti Vedantadindimah. In these verses, there's a lot of sandhis which are there. So, every verse we have to see clearly. Yadasti adav, yadasti ante, yan madhye bhati tat swayam, brahma yeva ekam idam satyam. Brahmaiva ekam idam satyam iti Vedantadindimah. It is a proclamation of Vedanta exactly opposite to what we saw Jagat as Mithya. Exactly opposite. So he says, Yad asti adav, that which is there even before this whole universe existed. That means that for which there is no adi, there is no beginning, that which has always existed, for which there is no birth, na jayate. Fine? So, yadasti adav. Yadasti ante. That means, even when this whole universe disappears, at the time of Mahapralaya also, this what? There is something which continues. It does not die. Okay? Na jayate, na mriyate kadachit. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. That which is there even before this whole thing was created, that which remains after everything is destroyed, and yan madhye bhati tat swayam, that which exists all the time, even in the middle. See, for Brahman, there is no middle. That for which there is no adi, for which there is no anta, no adi antah, no adyantam, no adi, no antam. Such a thing is always existing. So there is no madhya. Yan madhya is not there. For Jagat, that which was not there before, not there later, in the middle there is something existing. Then you can say yan madhya. But that for which there is no beginning, there is no end. Where is the question of middle? There is no middle. Yan madhye bhati tat swayam. That means it was there before also, it is there now also, it is going to remain after also. Means what? Before the beginning of what? That which was there before the beginning of this world. That which was there before the beginning of time and space. That which will remain even when the time and space are totally resolved at the time of Pralayam. That which exists even now in the presence of the world along with the Desha Kalaha. Okay? You see, Dakshinamurthy Stotram we saw Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kalana Vaichitrya Chitri Kritam. So, Desha Kala Kalana, that is time, space, and causality came along with the creation of this Anatma Jagat. That means space and time are also Anatma. But Atman was there even when there was no space and time. Atman Brahman was there even before the creation of this universe. So, na jayate, na mriyate va kadachita. Okay? That which never is born, that which is never going to end, that which is going to appear in all periods of time. Okay? That which is there before also, now also, bhutam, bhavat, bhavyaha, that which was there earlier. No question of time. There is no involvement of time here. That which is desha, kala, vastu, aparichinnaha. That which is not affected by the time, space, or any other object. that which is always existing, that is called as Satyam. And that Satyam exists by itself without the support of anything. So it says Swayam Bhati. Swayam Bhati. The universe is not Swayam Bhati. The universe is lighted up by Brahman or Atma, because universe appears in Brahman. But then Brahman shines, exists by itself without anything supporting it. Without any other support, Brahman remains by itself. And what is that? Brahmaiva ekam idam. There is only one thing which was there before, which will be there ever after, ever before, all the time. No vikaras, ekam, one, nirvikari, okay, not changing with time, that which is not born, ajaha, nityaha, that which is nitya, that which is all the time there. This is Brahman. This is Satyam. So see the opposite, previous verse and this verse. That which is born, it did not exist before it appeared. That which dies, ceases to appear after its death, appears in the middle for a period of time, and it is objectified or seen because of this light of consciousness. It is nothing but asat mithya jagat. Opposite to that which is unborn, that which never dies, that which is not subject to desha kala vastu impact, that which is desha kala vastu aparichinna, always remaining as it is, no vikaras in that. That is what? Ekam Brahma, Satyam Brahma, one Brahman. Jagat is many, whereas what? Brahman is one. So that's the difference between Brahman and Jagat. That is why Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Why Brahma Satyam? Ekatvat, Nityatvat, Nirvikaritvat. Okay? Ekatvat, Nityatvat, Nirvikaritvat. Then Najayate Mriyate. That's also one of the vikaras, Shad vikaras. Whereas what is Jagat? Okay? Anityatvat, it is Jagat. Then it is also something which is born and dead, multiple. Anekatvat, not ekatvat, anekatvat, anityatvat, savikaritvat, Jagat is mithya. So therefore, this is why it is said Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Okay. Most important teaching, that's the core of the teaching of all Upanishads. So it says, Yadasti Ado, Yadasti Ante, Yan Madhye Bhati Tat Swayam, Swayam Bhati, Bhasura, Bharupa. This whole, this Ekam Brahma is Bhaswarupam, Jyotisham Jyotihi. Okay, that's the light of consciousness, the highest light of consciousness. Jagat does not have inherent its own, it cannot light up itself. It needs something else to light it up. Sorry. Similarly, these two are the two opposites. So Brahma Satyam and Jagan Mithya are the ones which are discussed here. Atma va asya jyotir bhavati, it is said in the Upanishads. The whole world is lighted up by the light of consciousness. Jyotisham jyotihi, the light of all lights. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam, we have already seen. Tameva bhatam anubhati sarvam. When this light of consciousness reveals itself and it reveals everything else. And therefore, Brahman is also called as Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma, Tat Satyam Sa Atma. Again, another Upanishadic statement. All these talk about the Satyatvam of Brahman. And the previous verse we saw was the Mithyatvam of this Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. So let's go to the 40th verse now. Now, he slowly comes to Moksha Purushartha. Now, all this time we did not discuss the Purusharthas. We only discussed about Atma and Atma Viveka. Atma Swarupa we discussed. Atma Satyam we discussed. Jagat Mithyatvam we discussed. How Brahman is the very adhishtanam of this Jiva and Jagat we discussed. And what is the upadhi of Jiva? What is the upadhi of Ishvara? That we discussed. These are the topics that are dealt by all the Upanishads. And for this knowledge to be had, one has to be a mumukshu. So here, in the next verse, in the next few verses, the Acharya talks about a mumukshu and adhikaritvam for this knowledge, and the importance of moksha purushartha. Very interesting verses here. So let's go to the 40th verse. Purusharthatraya vishtaha purushah pashavo dhruvam moksharthi purusha shreshtaha iti vedantadindimah. So we know that there are 4 purusharthas. These are the very basics we have discussed. When we start Vedanta, we start with purusharthas. That's how we started even Tattva Bodha. So I'm not going to go into the various purusharthas in detail because we have already done it so many times before. So here he says, Purusharthatraya avishtaha purushaha. Purushartha means what? Human pursuits. An animal does not pursue anything. It is fully programmed to live its life, to protect itself, to see that the organism or it as the jiva grows and it continues its progeny. That's it. And it is fully programmed for that. The animals or plants do not have any pursuit kind of. Their only pursuit is to find food, to find a territory for them to rest, and also to find a mate for them to continue the progeny. That's all. That is their pursuit. Nothing other than that. That is their pursuit. And that also is programmed. Whereas we people, the jivas, human jivas, because this is the highest we know here. We don't know. There may be other jivas who are more exalted than us in some other, world, in some other loka. We don't know. But Vedanta here is meant for us. So we are the ones who are now the so-called highest evolved jivas with a purushartha nishchaya possibility. We have an intellect which is capable of discriminating. We have an intellect which is capable of pursuing something. We have an intellect which is capable of desiring something, pursuing something, choosing something, discriminating the benefit and non-benefit of something. And we have a free will to go after our pursuits. Therefore, it is called as purusharthas, means human pursuits. And we know that there are 4 purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha purusharthas. The first 3 purusharthas, the dharma, artha, kama purusharthas, are materialistic purusharthas. Materialistic. They are grouped into one called as prayas in our Kathopanishad. Prayas. Prayorthi, Shreyorthi, Lord Yama says. The one who goes after material ends, material benefits. And these 3 purusharthas, dharma, acquiring punya and papa for better lives in this life and lives ahead. Artha, pursuit of security and, wealth and other resources. Kama, the pursuit of enjoyment, sensual enjoyment of objects of the world. These three are the first three Purusharthas which come under one group, that which is materialistic acquirement or materialistic group. Prosperity, materialistic prosperity, which is called as Abhyudaya. A person only wants material prosperity, wants to accumulate punya, doing various karmas and upasanas, go after artha to make his life more comfortable here and try to go into higher worlds where the life becomes more comfortable. Kama, to enjoy as much as possible all the sensual pleasures that are available in this objective world. So, the dharma, artha, kama, purusharthis are only interested in material well-being. So, he says, purushartha traya avishtaha purushaha. Traya means what? The first three purusharthas. Purushartha traya avishtaha. Those who have got the abhimana, those who have got the commitment to the purushartha trayas, dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, avishtaha purushaha. Avishtaha purushaha. Those who are committed or interested only in material acquisitions and material accomplishments, Purushaha, such people, Pashavaha Dhruvam, they are like animals. That's what Upanishad says. Because to attain Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purusharthas, the Veda Purva gives us thousands of sadhana sadhyas in which we are going to please or appease various deities to get their, what you call as grace to enjoy certain benefits. So, in an Upanishad called as Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says that all these people, the Manushas, who are doing various karmas and upasanas for dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, appeasing the devatas, are like pashus for the devatas. Pashavaha, pashus for the devatas. Like, for example, it is said that supposing we have an animal at home, like a donkey or, a cow or a dog or whatever animal we have at home. What do those animals do? Either they carry the load for us, give us milk, okay? And for what? For the sake of handful of grass. They're happy, isn't it? You give a handful of grass to a cow or something, it gives you milk. A handful of hay or something else, whatever a donkey eats, it's willing to carry your whatever weight you put on it forever. Correct? So, just like the animals who are going to be like slaves to a human being, giving something, carrying weights, etc., becoming the vahanas for the purush, for the owners, etc. And what for? For the sake of just a handful of grass or hay or whatever food they are giving, a few crumbs of foods, they're happy to do that. And this is the state of even we human beings who are going after dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas. Because whatever material prosperity we get out of dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas is like getting a few crumbs out of this universe. After so much of prayer, after so many yagas, yajnas and everything, ultimately if we get something, it's just such a small thing as a karma phala, taking so much trouble, a karma phala which lasts for such a short time. And it's like, an animal getting a handful of grass or hay. And we are willing to spend our entire lifetimes in the pursuit of dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, which are anitya phalas. Anitya phalas. And it binds us, they bind us. It makes us come back again and again and again and again. So he says here, Purusharthatraya avishtaha purushaha. What are they? Pashavo dhruvam. Really speaking, dhruvam means really speaking, they are pashus. We will not like it, but that is the reality. Always going after dharma, artha, kama, nothing else. So, really speaking, there's no difference between us and those domesticated animals which we keep for our own personal use. So then he says, Moksharthi Purushashreshtaha. So who is the Purusharthi? Who is the highest, greatest? Moksharthi. In Kathopanishad language, the one who is after Shreyas, Shreyorthi. A Preyorthi is Manda Buddhi, he says. Yoga Kshemat Vrinite. All the other Purusharthas, for the sake of Yoga Kshema, the one who goes after these three dharmartha kama purusharthas is a vimudha. That's what Kathopanishad says. Manda buddhi, vimudha. Manda buddhi means what? I mean, I don't want to use that word, but manda buddhi, we know what it means. And he's a vimudha, the one who is totally confused. He doesn't know the reason why I have come in this human life, where I have the choice of Purushartha Nishchaya. So the one who has made the Purushartha Nishchaya of Shreyas or Moksha, he's called as a Moksharthi, not a Dharmarthi or an Artharthi or a Kamarthi, but a Moksharthi, a Mumukshu, the one who has done the Purushartha Nishchaya. That I don't care for these dharmartha kama purusharthas. I know what they are. I have had enough of them in all these millions of life. And now I want something where I'm not bound. I'm totally free from this bondage of coming back again and again and again into this samsara. So moksharthi is a Shrestha Purusha. Shrestha Purusha. That's why in Bhajagovindam, Shankaracharya said, okay, Bhajagovindam Mudhamate. Hey Mudhamate, the one who you are after these three Purusharthas, Bhajagovindam. May you choose Moksha Purushartha. This is called as Purushartha Nishchaya. What I want. Okay, I've had enough of these. Enough. I'm no longer interested in these. I'm interested in that which is permanent, that which frees me totally, and that which makes me not to come back again and again. Therefore, the Upanishads also, they say, the one who goes without knowing this Brahman, the one who's not a moksha purusharthi, okay, atha ya yetadaksharam gargi aviditva asmat lokat praiti sa kripanaha, it says in Upanishad. And that he says, opposite, atha ya yetadaksharam viditva asmat lokat praiti sa brahmanaha, the knower of Brahman. He is the real Brahmana. The one who ends this body also, this life also, without knowing Brahman, mahati vinashti. We already saw that. Nached iha vedit mahati vinashti. But if you understand that, ata satyam asti, iha cheda vetit, ata satyam asti, na ched iha vedit, mahati vinashti. If I come into this human life and don't choose, if I don't have the moksha purushartha nishchaya, then my life is a waste. Mahati vinashti. Sa kripanaha, Yajnavalkya says, Rishi Yajnavalkya in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And the one viditva, okay, aksharam viditva. Aksharam means Brahma, Brahman, Brahma, viditva, aksharam viditva, asmat lokat praiti. The one who leaves this world, this body falls in this world before death in this body, the one who knows this Brahman, saha brahmanaha, is the Brahmana. So, choose wisely. Don't be a pashu for the sake of handful of hay or handful of some little things, crumbs of little things here and there. That's what is said here in what is the Purushartha Nishchaya that one has to do. And having done the Purushartha Nishchaya, now next in the few verses, talking about, I'm very sorry, preparations for this knowledge. Choosing Moksha Purushartha, fine. Yes, I want Moksha Purushartha. I'm not interested anymore in Dharmartha Kama Purusharthas. Then what is the preparation I need? We have already seen. We need Chitta Shuddhi. We need Chitta Naishalyam. We need Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. So what are they? What is the preparation of a mumukshu? That is what is going to be talked in a very interesting way in the next 5 or 6 verses. So we'll get into the introduction of this set of verses, the 41st verse. Then he says, Shannihatyatrayam hitva dvayam bhitva khilatigam ekam buddhvashnute moksham iti Vedantadindimah. So Vedantadindimah says what? Shan nihatya. One has to destroy the 6. We'll see what they are. Then Trayam hitva. One needs to give up the 3. Dvayam bhitva. We have to cut open the 2, okay, for the sake of understanding this one Brahman. Okay, so now we have to see what those 6 are. Okay, so completely destroying the 6, giving up the 3, and literally splitting or cutting the 2 are necessary. This process is the preparation which is necessary for knowing this one Brahman. So, Shan Nihatya, destroying the 6. Trayam Hitva, having given up the 3. Dvayam Bhitva, literally having made the 2 completely, what you call, cutting it into 2, literally, okay, cutting the 2. Bhitva akhilatigam, then ekam buddhva, knowing that one thing which is supposed to know, ashnute moksham. This is the preparation for moksha. Once you are a moksha purusharthi. Moksha purusharthi means purushartha nishchaya. Yes, I am not interested in dharmartha kama. Like when Nachiketa asked for his 3rd vara, Vidyama, we have already done Kathopanishad, and wants to know what this Atman is, Yamadharmaraja entices him with all kinds of enticements which give him all kinds of material, dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas are just given freely. But what does Nachiketa do? He says, I know all these are anitya and temporary, Bhagwan Yama. Thank you for offering me all these things, but I'm not interested. All these things that you have offered, you please keep them yourself. Let them be for you. I don't want them, but I'm not going to get distracted from asking you for this knowledge of Atma. Whatever may be whatever may be the enticement that you are giving me by offering various things, I'm not going to lose my focus from my third vara, and that will remain. What is this Atman? I want to know that. That is my third vara, and I don't care what you offer. I don't want. Keep all those things to yourself. I don't want any of them. Okay, so when I'm sure of the moksha purushartha, then I'm a real moksha purushartha nishchaya. Then the certain preparations that he is talking about. Now, what are those 6 things that we have to destroy? Destroy means literally we not being affected by them. So he says, what are the 6? 6 means the Shad Urmis. Shad Urmis means the 6 afflictions. What are the 6 afflictions? For the Sthula Sharira, there are 2 afflictions which nobody can avoid. For the prana, in the Sukshma Sharira, for the Pranamaya Kosha, prana, there are 2 afflictions which we cannot avoid. Okay, as long as we are jivas. And then for the mind, the Sukshma Sharira, the mind part of it, there are 2 afflictions. These afflictions are called as urmis in our Shastra. Means like waves, they are coming and going. What are the Shadurmis? For the Sthula Shariram, for the physical body, it is Jara Mrityu. Jara and Mrityu. Nobody can avoid it. It comes. In waves it comes. Sometimes we age much earlier than our age. Sometimes we die much earlier than, probably what is normal for us. Jara, Mrityu, unavoidable, 2 waves of affliction which come to the Sthula Sharira. They are the 2 urmis. Then for prana, for the Pranamaya Kosha of the, in Sukshma Sharira we have what? Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. The 3 are Sukshma Sharira parts. The prana, the Indriyas and the mind and the intellect. Now, for prana, there are 2 urmis. Urmis means waves of affliction. Kshut, pipasa, hunger and thirst comes in waves, correct? As long as this prana is there, hunger and thirst is something we can't avoid. A newborn baby, when it is hungry, it will not stop at anything. It creates a ruckus till it is fulfilled. Its hunger is fulfilled. Hunger and thirst are the 2 afflictions or urmis of Sukshma Sharira, that is Pranamaya Kosha. Then Shoka Moha are the afflictions of the Manomaya Kosha or the mind. As long as I identify myself with the mind, Shoka, sorrow, Moha, delusion, confusion, I cannot avoid. As long as I identify myself with the physical body, Jara and Mrityu will afflict me. As long as I consider myself to be or identify myself with the Pranamaya Kosha, Pipasa and Kshut will not leave me. That means what? I have to understand very clearly that these Shadurmis are afflicting the physical body and also the Sukshma Sharira, Sthula Sukshma Sharira, and I am not either of them. So though the Urmis are there, they do not afflict me in any way. So, Shannihatya, the 6 urmis, understanding that they are not me, but they belong to the Anatma, Sthula, Sukshma, Sharira. Then, Trayam Hitva, giving up 3 things. Okay, what is that? Giving up means the 3 important yeshanas. Yeshana Trayam. What are they? Vittaishana, Lokaishana, Putraishana. The desire for progeny, the desire for material wealth, the desire for a comfortable loka. All our desires can be grouped into one of these 3. There is no desire other than the Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana. All our desires, millions of them, can be grouped in one of these. The desire for the family and progeny to continue, the desire to be happy, having a happy surrounding here and later, to be in lokas or fields of experience where the body mind is comfortable, okay, and that's what putra and vitta, resources to be happy. So these are the 3 ashanas. So these 3 things I have to give up. That means vairagyam. I have to have that vairagyam. Then dvayam bhitva, completely cutting asunder the 2. What are those 2? Kartritvam, bhoktritvam, which belong to what? Vijnanamaya Atma, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now he's bringing the Panchakosha Viveka here, actually. The Urmis belonging to Sthula Sharira, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. Eshanas also belonging to Manomaya Kosha, that is desires. And then Kartritvam, Bhoktritvam. Again, Kartritvam belonging to the Vijnanamaya Kosha as Aham Karta Asmi. Giving up that Ekam Buddhva, knowing that one thing, Brahman, is possible by destroying these 6, giving up these 3, cutting asunder these 2, with which I am all the time afflicted because of my identification with the various koshas. Then when I leave this identification, when I loosen my identification with this, Ekam Buddhva Ashnute Moksham. Ashnute Moksham means one can abide in one's own Moksha Swarupa iti Vedantadindimah. So we will see more of this in the next few also verses, basically talking about Panchakosha Viveka in these next few verses. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu guru sada sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu Ma kaschit dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.